Much thought goes into choosing brands for the modern market, but some designs might leave you spellbound. Are these logos' hidden meanings an example of blatant corporate greed or just very expensive mistakes? I'd like to take you through our top 10 logo conspiracies. Number 10. The Chicago Bulls Dystopia. For some people, sports is a religion. Their church is the stadium. They go there to sing hymns every week, and they wear their team's logos like crosses or tefillins. Supporters of the basketball team, the Chicago Bulls, might be seeing a dangerous prophecy when they look down at their shirts. The NBA sports team was founded in 1966, and it has sported its famous bull logos since its beginnings, but only recently have people started to see something malevolent among its lines. If the bull's head is turned upside down, the image of a robot reading a book on a park bench is immediately apparent. Some theorists have guessed that it's reading not just any book, but the Bible. Number 9. United Nations Freemasonry. Many people are skeptical about large governing bodies, such as the United Nations, but when they show signs of Freemasonry, the internet explodes with conspiracy theories. The Freemasons are an ancient organization that boasts famous members, such as George Washington, and is still very secretive about its ceremonies. For Freemasons, the number 33 represents the 33 levels or degrees of hierarchy in their organization. The 33rd degree is the most important level in Freemasonry, said to be reserved for only those influential enough to exert their power on a world stage. Some people believe that the UN's flag, with its globe divided into 33 sections, is a blatant sign that the UN is actually a branch of Freemasonry, hell-bent on world domination. Number 8. Lucent Technologies Circle of Hell. Lucent Technologies Incorporated was an American telecommunications company that was founded in New Jersey in 1996 and later immersed into the multinational conglomerate Nokia. Despite disappearance from the market, as it once was, the meaning behind its curious red circular logo is still clouded in mystery. Company insiders have claimed it to be a Zen Buddhist symbol called Enzo, meaning the eternal truth, which was modified by designers to make it more acceptable for the 90s market. Another insider said that it was representative of the ancient pagan symbol, the Ouroboros, a snake with its own tail in its mouth to make a perfect circle. However, there are some who claim the logo is much more malevolent. Texamars of Spaceport 666 claims that the slapdash paint actually represents the hellish flames of the devil. He goes on to supposedly back this claim up by pointing out that Lucent Technologies' 1996 operating system was called Inferno. This name, combined with the image of the flaming circle, brings to mind the first part of Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, which recounts a journey to heaven from a hell that is made up of, you guessed it, circles. Each circle is reserved for different punishments of various sins, and is one of the most recognizable images of the Christian hell. Number 7. Diabolic Disney. Perhaps even more recognizable than the Coca-Cola image today is the iconic playful swirls of the name of Walt Disney. Many people believe that this was actually Walt's signature, but in fact, it was the design work of one of his staff members, and caused no end of embarrassment for the business mogul when he was asked for a signature by fans. However, he may be more than embarrassed if he found out what some modern internet citizens believe they've seen in the swirls. Taking the W, the dot above the I, and the loops in the final Y, people believe that you can make out the number 666. Of course, this is the famous number of the beasts referred to in the apocalyptic book Revelation in the Bible. The original quote comes from Revelations 13:18, and according to the New International Version of the Bible, it reads, "This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. This would be scary enough if it weren't reported a few years ago that by number of ships in its fleet alone, Disney has one of the largest navies in the world. Let's just hope the devil isn't actually in the details with this one. Number 6. Procter & Gamble's Satanic Moon. Those of you who have seen our top 10 conspiracies hidden on dollar bills video will be amazed by this next image. Procter & Gamble is an enormous consumer goods corporation that was founded way back in 1837. However, it is the logo they used between 1851 and 1985 that caused the most controversy. This logo featured the man in the moon with 13 stars hovering over his head and a curious stylized design of hair. Nobody seemed to have a problem with the logo until the 1980s. However, when some people claimed that it was actually a reference to the apocalyptic book in the Christian Bible, Revelations. Apparently, Revelations 12:1 reads as, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." The fact that the Procter & Gamble moon has 13 stars instead of 12, plus the fact that the man's hair appears to form into ram's horns, a familiar image of Satan and Christian tradition, caused people to claim the company had links with the Church of Satan. This resulted in the discontinuation of the logo in the mid-80s, but couldn't stop the rumors from continuing to this day. Number 5. Alfa Romeo's Child Eater. The Italian car manufacturer is synonymous with style in the automotive industry, and for that reason, has one of the most sought-after logos around. However, if you look closely at that logo, you can see the waving arms of a child being eaten by an enormous snake. This image is known to heraldry as the Bestione. It has been a popular image for centuries. It was originally the heraldic emblem of the House of Visconti in the 11th century CE, and it became connected with the Italian capital, Milan, when the Visconti family controlled the city in 1277. The family died out in the 15th century, but the Bestione continued to be used by some of the most influential families in Europe, including the House of Sforza. It was adopted by Milan-based company, Alfa Romeo, at the beginning of the 20th century, in order to represent the company's ties with the Italian capital, putting the murderer snake next to the Red Cross of Madrid. Despite the fact that this is an ancient European symbol, the image definitely brings to mind Francisco Goya's horrendous image of the pagan god Satan devouring his own children in a bloody massacre. Number 4. Blasphemous Coca-Cola. Making a negative reference to the holy prophet of Islam, Muhammad, is a crime still punishable by death in some countries around the world. And some claim that Coca-Cola may have some explaining to do after a hidden message was discovered on their logo. The iconic curse of Coca-Cola is one of the most recognizable images around the world, but it doesn't always have the same meaning from all perspectives. For instance, when viewed in a mirror by somebody who can read Arabic script, a much more offensive term emerges. The curves and lines merge into the term, "No Muhammad, no Mecca." Not only does this seem to refer to Islam's holiest prophet, but also to the holiest site in the religion too. When Muslims pray, they go to great efforts to ensure that they are facing in the direction of the holy mosque at Mecca, known as the Kaaba, and all Muslims who are financially and physically able are supposed to make the pilgrimage to the site at least one point in their lifetime. Whether intentional or not, this is one hell of an offensive image. Number 3. Apple's devilish marketing. The image of Apple's half-eaten fruit is one of the most recognizable logos in the world today, and there has been a lot of speculation about what it could actually mean. One theory is that it is in reference to the apple that was said to have fallen on Isaac Newton's head, sparking his most important discovery, the theory of gravity. In fact, the original image Apple had designed in 1976 did indeed feature Isaac Newton on it, surrounded by the text, "Newton, a mind forever voyaging through strange seas of thought, alone." Another theory that has been espoused about the bitten apple is that it is in reference to Enigma code decoder and persecuted computing genius, Alan Turing. Alan Turing was the head of the highly secret team of code breakers at British intelligence. However, after he had saved hundreds of thousands of lives by breaking the Nazi, supposedly unbreakable code, the British government put him through torturous procedures in the hope of curing his homosexuality. Turing eventually died by biting into an apple that was laced with cyanide. However, there is another theory surrounding the Apple logo put forth by Tex Mars. Mars believes that the apple represents that very same apple Eve was tempted by the devil to take from the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. If this is the case, this devilish image would not only represent a gift from Satan, but also the loss of innocence and demise of the entire human race. Mars emphasizes his point by bringing his readers' attention to the fact that Apple founder Steve Jobs and Stephen Wozniak's first rudimentary computer was in fact sold for $666.66. Number 2. Starbucks and Baphomet. As if it weren't enough that Starbucks sports a malevolent ship record out of Homer's Odyssey, certain internet writers have claimed that the multinational coffee conglomerate is blatantly showing off its connection with the devil too. According to RevealingTheTruth.com, Starbucks' unprecedented success is all down to the same story, told of legendary bluesman Robert Johnson. As the story goes, Robert Johnson went down to the crossroads in order to sell his soul to the devil, in exchange for the talent that would make him a legend. Reveal the Truth claims that the founders of Starbucks did the same thing and show off their bargain on their circular logo. Apparently, the design of the Starbucks logo represents the infamous order of Baphomet. Baphomet is the name of a goat-headed demon that represents the devil himself. Some other web writers go even further though. Some claim that the logo contains no fewer than 6 circles, an ominous number to believers. Also, the name Starbucks itself, they say, is a compound word, made up of star representing occult astrology and bucks, which represents the greed of the devil. Number 1. Monster 666. Letters and numbers have been used throughout the years to communicate complex written ideas. Great figures in the past, such as Julius Caesar, were known to replace letters with numbers in order to encode secret messages. However, there is a similar cipher known as the Hebrew Gematria that people believe they have found, showing a secret Illuminati code on a popular energy drink. The Hebrew Gematria has often been used to give relatively mundane letters and words a deeper meaning. For example, take the Hebrew letter V or Vav. This letter looks similar to an inverted 7, but according to the Gematria is actually equated with the number 6. According to some people, when 3 V's are placed together, they take on an uncanny resemblance to the symbol used by the popular energy drink Monster. However, some conspiracy theorists go even further and believe that there is nothing coincidental or harmless about this placement at all, since this symbol would be 666, or the number of the beast, aka the Antichrist. What do you think about our top 10 logo conspiracies? Are they evidence of a diabolic presence in the world, or are they just expensive coincidences? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.